Hello everybody. So in this quick video tutorial, I'm going to summarize how I got to this point. So in this little exercise, you guys are going to get familiar with two things. First, the amazing array of Photoshop filters that you can use, and there's different places that you can access them depending on the type. So there's filters, and also what we call layer masks. So let's get started by looking at what I've got here. So this is what your end product should look like. Of course, for you, you're going to be downloading and opening up any high resolution or large image you find on the internet that is either of a human face or an animal face. Here I have chosen a leopard. Let's look over at my layers panel. This is what your guys are going to be doing. So here, you notice that on the bottom layer, I have my original photo, and then I have all these different copies of the same photo with filters applied to it. But there's something new. Here, next to most of these layers, are something called a layer mask. Layer masks, as I've shown you in class, are ways that you can hide specific parts of a layer so you can see underneath it. There's more that you can do with masks than just that, but that's all we're going to talk about today. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and put all of these layers inside of a folder, and then I'm going to turn it off so I can start from the beginning. So when I started this, and I'm not going to show you this, this image was very large. It showed the whole leopard. I've cropped it down to just the face. So when you download your image, make sure that you crop it down to just the face before you go any further. So the basic process, as you can see here, is there's many different layers. So you're going to be adding a layer at a time by simply activating the layer by clicking on it, and then right-clicking on the actual layer blank area next to the thumbnail. So I've right-clicked, and I'm going to choose Duplicate. I'm going to simply hit OK, and now I have two copies of the same layer. So to set this up, before I go any further, I'm going to create a layer mask for this new layer. These are easily found on these controls at the very bottom of your layers palette. So here, this is where the masks are. It's a rectangle with a little circle in the middle. Once you click on it, it'll default to a white square. The white square means that the layer mask is transparent. It is not doing anything. It's not masking anything at all. However, if I go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just, before I go any further, let's just go ahead and apply the filter first. So now that we have our layer mask, I'm going to go ahead and reactivate the image part of the layer. Notice how when I click on the image part of the layer, you see that double frame show up? That means that the image is active. When I click on the mask, that has now a double frame, and now that is active. It is important to distinct between the two. Okay, so you're going to click on your digital image layer, not the mask, and then I'm going to go to the filter menu. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose Filter Gallery. This is one place where you can find a whole bunch of filters. And right away, you can see something really strange happen to my leopard, because I used, for the last filter, was this one here called Stamp. What you're going to see is that you can open up any of these collections of filters. Once you click on one, it'll update to the filter, but on the right-hand side, you'll be able to manipulate that filter to make it look the way you want it to look. So right here, I'm making the stroke length of my ink outlines really long. And what does this do? I'm not really even sure what this does here, but I'm going to make this really intense, and I'm going to make the lights really intense. So I have something that does not look like an original photo. I like this, so I'm going to hit OK. Now my image now looks like the filter that I created. But we're not quite done yet. What we want to do here is we want to only have a sliver of this filter showing through. Now this is where the mask comes in. So go ahead and click on your mask, then click on your marquee tool, grab your rectangular marquee. And I'm going to draw a big box around everything, the whole image, except for the strip on the left. So once I've done that, I'm going to fill my selection with the color black. There's several ways to do it. I'll show you the easiest way, which is to simply choose Edit, Fill. Now my foreground color is black. If it's not black, you can simply choose black right here. Hit OK. Now look, take a close look at what you see here. This left strip, vertical strip, still has that filter applied to it, but the rest of the image does not. Now I don't need the selection anymore, so I'm going to hit Control D, or you can also choose Select, Deselect to select everything. So you see what I did here? I actually created a new duplicate layer, applied a filter, but then I masked most of it out, meaning that for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and make this last layer invisible. My layer with the filter is only showing a piece of it. The rest of it is invisible. It's masked. So anything that's black conceals. Anything that's white reveals on a mask. All right, so once you've done that, you're going to simply, I'm going to go ahead and turn back on my background layer. You're going to simply rinse and repeat. Select your background layer again, duplicate it once again, create a new layer mask, select your image again. This time you're going to choose a completely contrasting filter. Now you can use anything from the filter gallery, or there are some fun things to use that you'll see here. So if I wanted to choose, like, let's say pixelate, I'm going to go for, how about crystallize? Now here I have an interesting pattern that shows up, and I can adjust the cell size. So I can make my little crystals bigger or smaller. I'm going to choose something really chunky, and I'm going to hit OK. There we go. And there's something interesting. Now we're going to apply that mask again, only this time we want to reveal just this piece. So select my mask, select my marquee. I'm going to start over here because I want to reveal a little bit more of it, or a little bit more. Fill it with black again, Edit, Fill, Black, Deselect, and now I have these first two done. So your goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to have 6 distinctly different types of filters. It is your job to hunt through them using the filter gallery or other places. Going back to the filter gallery, like I showed you previously, there are, and this is really cool, all kinds of different types of filters. Sketch, distort, brush strokes, artistic. Go through these, click on one that you think you might like, and then choose the sliders to adjust it. I'm going to hit cancel. Once you're all done, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on all of mine, you're going to see something that looks like this. You can choose either vertical or horizontal stripes, or even go in a diagonal if you want to get fancy. I'd recommend not doing that this time. Once you're all done, save your Photoshop file and then export using Quick Export as PNG. Save that to your file, to your project folder rather, and then upload that to Canvas and you are done. Have fun with this, guys. Explore. Make something artistic. That's the reason why we're learning about filters and masks, not just for technical reasons, but so you can make something cool. Okay, guys, enjoy, and I will talk to you soon.